Do you know, sir, that you have no power to fire on any body of the public collected together unless you have a civil magistrate which specifically gives you the orders to do so? Answer me, Captain!
They were not my orders, sir. The regiment fired on the colonists without my command.
Fine thing to do, sir, when the colonists are already whispering of revolution. As a loyalist, I fear there is little I can do for you now. No, you are in the hands of the court now. May they give you a fair trial.
But, sir...
As most of you gentlemen already know, a shooting has taken place on King Street this evening. Boston is in chaos, and our very rule is in question. What say you?
We must act honestly, even if it's against our own men. Our connections with King George III will not help us now.
Especially with the colonists searching for an excuse to rebel. Our mother country is in tense relations with France.
Yes, I see that as our only option for keeping the colonists at bay for the time being.
Sorry for the interruption, Governor. I have news of great importance for Mr. John Adams, sir, regarding this shooting.
Thank you.
What news does Lawyer John Adams find so important that he must intrude upon our meeting?
He states that Captain Preston has been arrested for manslaughter, and that he intends to defend him in trial.
Who could have convinced a colonist to defend a British soldier?
It would appear to be a weeping merchant by the name of James Forrest. However, I'm not surprised. Adams always undevotedly believed in a person's right to defense. So it is settled. Justice will prevail at these courts for the colonists to display impartiality and for the British to subdue the flame of rebellion.
The troops' presence will raise questions and scuffles, sir. Must they remain in Massachusetts?
No, the issue of the regiment must be addressed. We shall have them evacuated immediately until the courts have decided upon the fates of its officers.
Must they return to Britain, sir?
No, they may very well be needed here at some time. You, sir, see that the regiment is evacuated. Send them to Castle Island in the harbor and bid them stay there until I say otherwise.
Yes, sir.
Unhand me, Yankee! As an Englishman, I demand my rights!
Peace, Officer Back. You shall see your rights honored. We mean no disrespect. What was your regiment's purpose in front of the Common House this morning?
There was a mob, Your Honor, in front of the Common House, which houses the revenue on taxes on tea.
And did you suspect this mob to be violent?
Yes, sir. They are threatening to murder the guard, Mr. Hugh White.
And how are you certain of this?
An inside source, Your Honor, a townsman who remains anonymous.
And you thought the threats of commoners were a sufficient excuse to call for reinforcements?
I was protecting White and the king's well-earned money, Your Honor.
And you find the abominable tea tax to be the king's well-earned money, Captain?
Now, Your Honor, I do not see how this is relevant to Captain Preston's arrest. Surely the Massachusetts court wishes to appear just.
Of course, Governor. What were your orders to the regiment, Captain? I trust that you're in charge.
I sent 7 men to assist the one in front of the Common House. I gave them specific orders to hold fire.
But that was not their actions. What or who do you suppose caused your troops to fire against your orders?
A number of things, Your Honor. The bells that usually signal a fire were ringing to assemble a mob of the colonists, and at the same time the colonists were acting violently towards my regiment. I feared that by the insults of the rioters, my men would be thrown off their guard and commit some rash act.
Do you see the regiment's actions as justifiable, sir?
Peace, Justice.
Not in the slightest, Your Honor. I was simply answering the question.
And if you did not give the command to fire, who then commenced the fighting?
I'm afraid that a man from the front line, Hugh Montgomery, fired the first bullet under provocation of a particularly violent colonist, Crispus Attucks.
And did you give the order to cease fire?
Immediately, Your Honor.
Very well. I believe the court has sufficient evidence to put this man to trial, Mr. Hutchinson.
A trial? Surely you cannot find this man guilty of manslaughter in light of the given evidence, Your Honor.
Yes, Governor, his word proves his innocence, but is just his word. An abundance of witnesses must be brought forth before a decision on this matter may be made. For the time being, Captain Preston may reside in the jail with the other criminals.
The jail?
Yes, sir. Now, if you'll please come quietly with me. Excuse us, Mr. Hutchinson.
Come, sir, let us return to the council room.
I want to start an uproar, Governor. If we do not give them words of peace, we will have a rebellion on our hands.
Peace, citizens. Pray you remain calm. The soldiers of the regiment have been sentenced to jail until their time of trial in the Supreme Court. If anybody played witness to this horrific event, pray you come forward and make a statement in court to aid us in our jurisdiction. Until then, let the law have its course. I will live and die by the law.